Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradari Jaya Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradari Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yamunatira Nachari Yamunatira Nachari Jayarada Madhava Kunja Bihari Jayarada Madhava Kunja Bihari Jai Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradari Jai Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradari Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yamunatira Vanachari Yamunatira Vanachari Jayarada Madhava Kunja Bihari Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Ram Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Ram Rama Hare Hare Prabhupada Prabhupada Jai Jai Prabhupada. Shri Prabhupada ki Jai. Narayanam namaskrityam naram chaivam naruttamam devim saraswatim vyasam tato jaiva udirai nastapraya shabadreshu nityam bhagavata sevaya bhagavatuttama shloke bhaktir bhavaiti kinaistiki. So today we are reading Srimad Bhagavatam. As every day is very auspicious, very nourishing our spiritual life, and without that we are starving. Not like an Ekadasi, but really starving. Our soul is just thirsty for the verse of Srimad Bhagavatam, which is explained by Shiva Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, who is a perfect medium. To give this ripened fruit to the thirsty soul who are so long just suffering in Maya. Now they are here, awakened, and then we are getting the nectar, When you are so long wandering in a desert, and then you are in an oasis, and then the first fruit, so sweet. The first water. It's so nice. So Srimad Bhagavatam, when we wake up, we come up from the ignorance, and then nice morning program, and then the crème à la crème of the morning awakening, nourishing program is Sharira Vijaja. No, it's not a Prasadam, but the Srimad Bhagavatam. And then Prasadam comes. So today we're reading the Canto 3, chapter 22, and text 21. Everyone understand English, or do I have a translation? You understand? It's okay? Thank you very much. So, the verse. Maitreya Vacha Sa Ugra Danvan Iyad Eva Basi Saugra Danvan Iyad Eva Badashi Ashicchatushnim Aravindanabam Ashicchatushnim Aravindanabam Diyopagrinnan smita sobitena Diyopagrinnan smita shobitena Mukhena cheto lulube devahutya Mukhena cheto lulube devahutya Maitreya Vacha Mataji? Maitreya, the great sage Maitreya, Uvacha said, Saha, he, Kardama, Ugradanvan, O great warrior Vidura, Iyat, this much, Eva, only, Abadashi, spoke, Asit, become, Cha, and, Tushnim, silent, Aravindanabam, Lord Vishnu, whose navel is adorned by a lotus. Diya, by thought. Upagrinnan, seizing. Smita shobitena, beautified by his smile. Mukhena, by his face. Cheta, the mind. Lulubhe, was captivated. Devahutya, of Devahuti. Translation given by Srila Prabhupada. Sri Maitreya said, O great warrior Vidura, the sage Kardama said this much only, and then becomes silent, thinking of his worshipable Lord Vishnu, who has a lotus on his navel. As he silently smiled, his face captured the mind of Devahuti, who began to meditate upon the great sage. Please repeat. Sri Maitreya said, O great warrior Vidura, the sage Kardama said this much only, and then becomes silent, thinking of his worshipable Lord Vishnu, who has a lotus on his navel. As he silently smiled, his face captured the mind of Devahuti, who began to meditate upon the great sage. Purport given by Srila Prabhupada. It appears that Kardama Muni was fully absorbed in Krishna consciousness because as soon as he becomes silent, he at once began to think of Lord Vishnu. That is the way of Krishna consciousness. Pure devotees are so absorbed in thought of Krishna that they have no other engagement. Also, they may seem to think or act otherwise. They are always thinking of Krishna. The smile of such a Krishna conscious person is so attractive that simply by smiling he wins so many admirers, disciples and followers. Om Jnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namo. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktavinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. So, just a little bit go to the story, which is in the chapter, which is in the canto 3, and it's chapter 22, the marriage of Kardamuni and Devahuti. We are just before this marriage, but it's everything settled down. How we came to this point? How is how is Maitreya is taking part of this conversation or this situation? Who is Maitreya? Who is Vidura? Who is Kardama? Who is Devahuti? When we first meet with the Bhagavad Gita, for example, the first chapter is full of names. And that's a little bit confusing for a person who is coming from Western culture and try to get the knowledge and get a list of names. It's a phone book, or it's just a list of warriors. What to do with them? And they are not really translatable names. we are not familiar with these names. Ugrasena, so many names. And it's like a quite different language. That's why we need translators. I came, Jai Shri Lakshmi Singhadev ki Jai. I came from a small country, and we are living there 10 million persons, and practically it's quite famous that Hungarian doesn't like to speak any other language. So I don't know why, but that's true. Very difficult to find someone who is really speaking English or German, Deutsch or something, Russian. In the history, many other countries try to take this country, but still it's remained like Hungarian. And the language is very special. It's not similar to the other languages. Very, very special. How they express different things. I have no big problem to learn it. But many of my classmates Hungarians have problem to really understand and explain nicely words, sentences, so in Hungarian way. And so that is the language is somehow containing the culture, which culture using that language to express feelings, actions, so many things. So here we find the language is Sanskrit. And we are not familiar of Sanskrit language. Some devotees are, and Prabhupada is, so we have great fortune to get their help by this translation. So, and the Vedic literature is full of knowledge. So very difficult to get this so much knowledge about philosophy, about the word, about the creation, about different rules, about different qualities, by a person who learned mathematics, physics, biology, which is quite different, which we are speaking about. I'm engineer electric. So what I learned, but I was amazed. In university, the first year was not about electricity. I came and I found, they are speaking some flowing energies which we made some models and materials, how they behave, what are their qualities, how to change that qualities. So many things which I never thought that is important for me. Later I understood that, they are important because we are in the material world, and also we have some idea about the electricity, but electricity goes through the matter. And electricity itself is a special matter. So we have to understand how they cooperate. But what we see here in the Srimad Bhagavatam is the most important cooperation between the Supreme Person and his marginal energies. We are the energies of Supreme Person, and we are not cooperating with him. Wow. That's heavy. So we have to find by Srimad Bhagavatam that we have great problem. Not cooperating with the Supreme Source of all the energies means we are always are need of support, because he is not giving the same full support, because we are turning out from him. When you switch on or switch off the light, that light is very soon just cooling down and no more light. When you have a little connection, that maybe something goes through. But when you have a full, proper connection, that light is on. Because the powerhouse is there, energy is coming, but we are not connected. So we are like the light which is switched off. And we are persons, and we are complex living entities, and the switch on is not so easy, just a switch on a material things. So we have to learn how to connect us again to the Supreme Person. We have to remove all the obstacles which we created. The creation is our creation. The material creation is our creation to obstruct us to see the Lord, to experience the Lord, because we don't want to see Him. We are here just to turn out from the Lord's word, and we want to be separated. No, we understood that it's painful. It's not working anyway. So we are trying to find out why, but still we keep some complex, some theories that maybe half. We can turn to the God, we pray for Him, and He will support whatever we need. Like making a business. It's some connection. It's like in a electric science, it's like a how to say it? Something is not like a copper, which is very nicely helps to flow the energy, but something sometimes is allowing to go through the energy, sometimes not. It's very special anyway, don't learn it. So we are thinking that maybe we can make a business. So if you need something, we pray, and the God gives. And we don't need, we want to do something separately, then we do. It is again not working. So the Srimad Bhagavatam is built up step by step how to reconnect ourselves consciously, voluntarily, fully, and with love to the Supreme Persons. So step by step, consciously, voluntarily, fully, and with love. It means unconditionally. So that is the process. So we are on the third canto, over the first two canto. So we already have some understanding of the Supreme Person. We have some qualities to listen. We have some adhikar, something to experience, like chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra. But we are not fully prepared of the Lord full personality, the total personality, Lord Krishna in Vrindavan. We are not prepared yet when we are going on this level. But the first canto helped us to understand that it's not enough just to have a desire to understand God. It's not enough just to have a desire to become an engineer and then next day you become. Have to qualify. Have to qualify to allow you to go into the university because there are limited seats. The government pays a lot to maintain a university and they select. If someone really serious, they are allowed to go in. And you have to do some exam to prove that you are really prepared for that. And you are ready to absorb yourself in the study. The same things. The Lord checking us, are you ready to listen? I will send you the best teachers. The first canto is explaining how perfect they are. And what is the quality of really taking us serious and giving that knowledge. Parikshit Maharaj is the living example. What is the quality of a person who is worth for hearing from the best teacher, Shukadev Goswami? Naimishara's sages of Naimisharanya are also another examples. They are not so perfect than Parikshit Maharaj, but they are at least get the minimum quality. Sorry to say, they are much higher than me, but according to the philosophy, they have some qualities to come together. They want to give something to the humankind. They are prepared for helping the people in general, and they want to make a yagya. But the yagya is not successful. And they are confused. And they ask their leader, what happening? And the leader say, yes, because in this age, the yagya is not working, which we are used to before. And then we have to have a new yagya. What is this new yagya? Oh, okay. I explain the Srimad Bhagavatam, you will understand the new yagya for this age of Kali. So they are prepared. The first canto is explaining how to prepare to listen properly and ready to have a good container in your heart to keep that knowledge. We're using different containers, from earth, from leaf sometimes, and they have different capacity to keep whatever we put in. And there are different liquids which maybe can contain in a earth container but not in a metal container because they are maybe acidic. Something happening, So our heart is like have a quality to keep different type of knowledge, different type of mercy. And if you want to be able to keep the highest mercy, we have to make our heart melted and like a gold, which is the best container for different materials, or gold-like heart would be the best container for the prema, from Krishna prema. But that would be checked before we get the Krishna prema. We are having this check of chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. And if we are not crying emotionally, not like an actor, but emotionally we are not crying, our heart is not ready for the prema. So we get a little bit less. We get the name which is liberating us, which is purifying us, but not which is giving the nectar of Lord's form, qualities, pastimes. There are different names. And so that's the first canto. The second canto gets one step further. What is the main topic of the second canto? Someone have some idea? Yeah? Lord, Creation. Very good. Do you know the name of the Sanskrit name for creation? Yeah? Sarga. It's the only word for creation? Sarga Visharga. Which is the creation? Sarga or Visharga? Both. So both are creation, Sarga and Visarga, but one is different creation from the other. Did you know it before you came to the Krishna consciousness that there are different creations? I never heard that. I never heard. I heard from Christian priest that there is a creation which is going on 7 days, maybe 6, and the 7 is like a full relief. Okay, we are ready. That was only which I understood from spiritual source about the creation. And what I learned in the university about the creation, about the appearance of the world. What is this? The creation. Huh? Big bang, bang, bang. Oh boy. I found it's not really explanation of something which is so important for me to living in and to using it for the best way. Bomb! A big bomb. So the terrorists are the best creators. Yeah. If you make a mistake and you make a big mess in your kitchen, that's the best food. Hey, cooks, have a bomb for the lunch? Maybe they are more intelligent not to use a bomb to create a lunch, which is, I think it would be really difficult to live here and every day just they put a bomb somewhere and the result, okay, that's the lunch. You know, the most intelligent persons are so stupid that they accept this. I know. Maybe I'm foolish, but I don't accept explanation of the word. But the second canto explains that some really clever person was thinking, okay, we create something, we do something for these stupid souls, they want to live separately, so we are arranging some things. Not easy to go through this second canto, but by the mercy of Srila Prabhupada it's possible. And the third canto, which is, you say that is about the Visarga, yeah? So when we are understanding the creation is really a reasonable act, reasonable things, then we give up the mentality of there is no God, there is no creator. That's important first step. It's really a sentimental, really just a sentiment to think about God when we think that all these things in matter is just working by chance. Everything happening by chance. There is no connection. That's just sentiment. So the third canto is about secondary creation. And also there are some other science, Lord Kapila thinking back and repeating what we have to hear to purify your consciousness and accept that yes, we have to hear from the authoritative source to really understand our position and really understand what can we do for our happiness. That is the task, that is the main goal, to be happy and not losing that happiness in every step. So, and here, but there are some pastimes also, because the sages of Naimisharanya, they are interested also not just, they are a little bit more higher in consciousness. They already know there is a God. So they ask, who is the God? What is about his qualities when he is coming? So they are really anxious to hear. But the teachers are very aware of giving that step-by-step knowledge which necessary for all the listeners, not just for the sages of Naimisharanya or some elevated listeners. When you go to school, the schoolmates are different. But the teacher should not teach only for the best student. They have to teach to the lowest and have to keep them engaged and have to elevate them. And then you have to ask the best students, please be patient. I give you some extra work, and help them, cooperate them. And that way the class keeping together and they are elevating step by step for the higher level. So here was a nice story about Hiranyaksha, and here was a nice story about killing him, and then the creation producing the total material elements, Brahma born from the lotus flower. We hear here the Lord Vishnu who is creating this material world, and the first being appearing is Lord Brahma. And then between Manu and Kardama, we are here, Kardama Muni. We find Kardama Muni is here. And we will go back. We are here. So, in the chapter 21, that's just a half of the third canto. Okay, sorry. We start earlier. So anyway, the chapter 31, we find that Kardama appearing. Kardama is, who knows who is Kardama in the lineage of the created persons? Yeah? Son of Brahma. Yeah. How Brahma have sons? I didn't hear that Brahma have a wife, maybe, but yeah. Yeah, for having a son he doesn't need. Can you explain this? Huh? Okay, me too. So Lord Brahma doesn't need to have a wife. Also maybe he has. Mother Saraswati is his wife, yes? But Lord Brahma creating by focusing his mind. And Lord Brahma in his consciousness, in his intelligence, have the full picture of the creation, what we need, and how to connect it to the matter. And his mind is able to connect his ideas into the matter, and he creating living entities, how we don't know, but they are appearing and they have different qualities. So one of his creation is creating sages, creating persons who are taking the task or creating more and more living entities. So they are called Prajapatis. Prajapatis means they have this capacity to create full living entities without these chemical or biological formulas. They are creating the egg of the living entity, the first egg to the chicken. But they know what is the chicken also coming out from the egg. So they are creating both the chicken and the egg. How they do it, I have some ideas, but it's too much details. So Kardama is one of these persons. But when he appearing, he's not fully conscious of Supreme Person of God. Like Brahma appeared, and he had some material conceptions. And he needed to have a sadhana to get into the spiritual enlivenment, spiritual consciousness. Kardama Muni also, goes through these he goes through this process. It is in the chapter 21, you should remember, because penance practiced by Kardama Muni. Penance practiced by Kardama Muni. That penance is quite similar, which Lord Brahma went through, because Lord Brahma is his father, and Lord Brahma asking him to get this task, and then he teaching him what to do. In this age, that meditation, that penance was the process to getting out of anarthas, and then prepare for the appearance of the Lord. And Kardama Muni have this experience. And I try to find it quickly. This is a creation, sorry. During the period of penance, the sage Kardama, by worshipping through devotional service in trance, propitiated the personality of Godhead, who is the quick bestower of all blessings upon those who flee to him for protection. So the previous verse, commanded by Lord Brahma to beget children in the verse, the worshipful Kardama Muni practiced penance on the bank of the river Saraswati for a period of 10,000 years. And then, in the Satya Yuga, the lotus-eyed Supreme Person of Godhead, being pleased, showed himself to that Kardama Muni and displayed his transcendental form, which can be understood only through the Vedas. That was the Lord Vishnu with the novel, with the lotus in his novel. He appeared to Kardama Muni. Adorned with crown and earrings, he had his characteristic conch, disc, and mace in three of his hands, and a white lily in the fourth. He glanced about in a happy, smiling mood, whose sight captivates the heart of all devotees. So this is Kardama Muni. This is quality of Kardama Muni. Kardama Muni is meeting here with his wife. And then we go to this verse today, when we first find Devahuti as a person. We heard that, yes, Swayambhu Manu have a wife, have a nice daughter, but first we see her acting in a personal way. The first meeting, the first scene when Devahuti is appearing, he's quiet, she's a girl, but no, she become captivated of her future husband. So it's not easy for our Western mind to understand that there is a family, there is a nice daughter, and father and mother deciding, okay, we go traveling for some excursion we made, and at the end of the excursion they give the girl, their beloved girl, to an unknown person. It's not really unknown, but they never met. This first meeting, and they are trusting their dharma, they're trusting their authorities. Okay, that will be the best for that girl. A father is really loving his daughter. He will never allow that daughter to put into a situation which is painful. So Swayambhu Manu is a good father, emotional father. But he's fully convinced, he fully trusts in this system. That's Kardama Muni. I have a short conversation with him. He proved that he is on that quality which I heard about him. The Lord Vishnu giving me this direction. And I give my beloved daughter to him. And then I go home. And I don't know when I saw the daughter again. So, the first connection, the first relationship between Kardama Muni, who is a self-realized person, and his wife, this smile which is appearing in the face of Kardama Muni when he is meditating of the Supreme Lord, when in his mind the Supreme Lord appearing. I have a good sister, Radhakund Mataji, His Grace Radhakund Mataji, and about 20 years back, she joined very late to the Krishna consciousness movement. About 40 she was, but she was very serious. She have a family. They were not against Krishna consciousness, but they didn't support. So in one point, she decided to come to Krishna Valley and to stay there, and the family is staying a little bit in a city. And she practiced Krishna consciousness very nicely. Yet one day, she wrote a diary, and in that diary, she wrote down experience what she have, and meditations and classes. And later, her Guru Maharaj told her to continue. Something happened, something very nice things happened, and he told her, continue the diary, but don't explain to anyone what's happening with you, in you. Because in one day, when she was chanting quietly and crying to get Krishna's mercy, one strange boy came into the temple in Krishna Valley and looked here and there, blackish hair, and he came to her, simply sit down and put his head into the shoulder of the Mataji. She was shocked to feel the presence of Krishna. She was smelling the Krishna's smell coming from the cows, a little bit, wet, a little bit like that. Krishna saw her and was peacefully sitting with her until he chanted. It was very difficult for her to chant. Try to not show to anyone. She recognized that no one sees Krishna. But it was very, very living for her. And he was chanting, she was chanting, and she couldn't do what to do. So she chanted, cried, chanted. Sometimes looks, still here. At the end of the japa period, Krishna just smiled and left. She ran out. For 3-4 hours, she was crying at home. She was really shocked. And then a few days later, she approached her Guru Maharaj and explained what happened in a personal meeting, conversation. And her Guru Maharaj told, okay, it's very nice, that's real, it's reality. You are very fortunate, I'm very happy. But keep it in secret and understand this is the beginning. This is the beginning. Please keep focus on chanting, keep focus on your service, and then keep relationship with me. And whatever you have problems, just write me. And they have text message sending, and they have a many. You can read the diary. Many things happen for years, purifying on that level. And what I wanted to say, when she left the world, she became seriously sick. She was shining. Devotees came to her to try to be with her because she was so attractive in the middle of the full devastation, full sickness. She was shining. She was always smiling. She was always taking care of the persons who came to her, not asking anything. She was so humble. She was thanking 1,000 times whatever they gave her, when they chanted with her, when they were reading for her, as she was shining. She was like not the healthy person, that the overhealth person she looks like. And all who was with her was witness of that. I was not present, but they thought this was amazing. So that's when the soul have direct relationship with Krishna. That's goes through the body. We know much smaller emotions goes through. When we are on the Sankirtan and with a good consciousness, people are just, oh, yes, without asking, because we are smiling, we are shining, and they have to stop because we are so attractive. There was the last program in Krishna Valley in this year, like big program for just the public, just tourists, just visitors. And they came, and most of them thought, wow, I have to come back because that's the place where everyone is smiling so nicely. I never have this flower garden when people are smiling. They are so very attractive for smiling persons. So that is one quality of a person who will have a son of the Supreme Person of Godhead, who will teach Sankhya philosophy for us, for our benefit, to get further, to get closer to Lord Nishingadev in the 7th canto, and Lord Krishna in the 10th canto, and Lord Chaitanya in Chaitanya Charitamrita. So we need this help, but we need to focus on the qualities. Focus to get that qualities. Not just chant and whatever happening. We have to see what is missing. We are missing the truthfulness. We are missing the mercy. We are missing the purity. We are missing what we are missing. In the Canto 7, Narada Muni, helping to understand helping to Yudhishthira Maharaj, what are these principles, what are these qualities which we really need to cultivate to be a human being. Just to be a human being, not Kardama Muni, not a sage, just a human being. He's not saying we have to be perfected in these qualities, but we have to practice them. These are principles, these are qualities which we need to cooperate to each other as a human person, as a devotee, because that qualities including worship God. Satyam, speaking the truth without distortion of deviation. 7th Canto, Chapter 11, 8 to 12. That is 21 plus 9 qualities. I will not list here now. You should go and you can go and you can read them. Satyam, Daya, Tapa, Shaucham. This 4 is the 4 pillars of the Dharma. Dharma is in the life of human beings only. Dharma is not in animal life. If you don't have Dharma, we are not in a human level of the world. Yes? Srimad Bhagavatam, 7th canto, chapter 11, 8 to 12. That means we are conditioned soul, and if we are practicing devotional service, still we need to have these qualities when we want to have association. Association of devotees needs some culture, and that culture is either we are pure devotees or we are conditioned devotees, and then we have this Varnashram Dharma culture. And Varnashram Dharma is not caste system, it's quality system. System of the quality. Whatever quality you have a responsibility for others. Whatever quality you have, you can serve others by that qualities, not by mental speculation. Oh, I serve that person by joking, by sharing some mundane things. No. Friends, as I told yesterday, are the good well-wisher of others. They know what to do, what to help. What is the way to help the friends to get whatever we can get as a spirit soul in the form of human life. So, Satyam, Daya, Tapa, Shaucham, and so many others. And the verses then are general principles to be followed by all human beings. And the last word of this list, O King Yudhisthira, these 30 qualifications must be acquired in the human form of life. Simply by acquiring these qualifications, one can satisfy the Supreme Person of Godhead. So, Kardama Muni have these qualities. We will see Devahuti have these qualities, or at least she is cultivating them. Later, she will explain to her son that she is missing some of these qualities, so she needs some help. And then her son, helping her to get that qualities. So the wife of Kardama Muni, for long association, after long association, still not have the fully, she's not acquired this 30 qualification by her own, by the help of her husband. She needed a perfect teacher also. So that's our Guru Maharaj. He will help us, but we have to ask. And as senior devotees also can help. Hare Krishna. So now we finished at 9 o'clock. I finish, but please share your comments or any questions. How long we keep? Because, there is a service period also coming. It's not me, there's a temple. Okay, there are organizations, so if we stop the organization to moving forward, that maybe give more disturbance than we can get blessing from continuing this. Anyway, 5 minutes more, okay? Yeah. So please share your realizations or questions. If I can answer. Yes, loudly please. And microphone, mic, use the mic.
Kardama Muni.
Yeah.
Is Kardama Muni the direct disciple, son of Brahma? I can't remember. Kardama Muni, you said, is the son of Brahma.
Son of Brahma, yeah.
Direct son or?
Direct, my mental son.
Really? Not Kashyapa? Thought it was Kashyapa.
Maybe he is also.
Okay.
Sons, there are a few sons of Brahma. Lord Shiva is one, Narada Muni is one.
Okay.
Yeah, he's a son of Brahma. They are Prajapatis. They are the first sages who appeared, and after Lord Brahma have a little distress by having these 4 Kumaras, and then having Lord Shiva, which was not helped him to continue the creation. He was meditating what to do, and Daksha came, and they are son of Lord Brahma. Anything else? We have the mic here, so if anyone have some questions of sharing. Yes, please.
Regarding these 30 qualities, you said we need to cultivate them.
Mm-hmm.
And yesterday you told me about this practice, conscious practice, how to cultivate them. So in one sense, it's also an automatic process, while we are purifying our heart, chanting Hare Krishna, some of these qualities automatically pop in us, develop in us. But there's a parallel, like at the same time, there needs to be conscious practice. That, okay, today, like I remember when Bhakti Ananda Tirtha Swami Maharaj once said that as a brahmacharis, they used to have practice, like every night before going to bed, they are looking at one of the 26 Vaishnava qualities. So they're like consciously every day trying to develop a quality.
Yeah.
So my question is simply, we need to do it like consciously, and at the same time it's also coming automatically, do you think?
Yeah. Until we are, but not until, we need to perfect that qualities which already may be there. Speaking the truth. Just a short example. When we have some issue and we want to deal with some difficulties, and we go to the temple president, Prabhu, do you have a moment? I would like to speak with you, very short. But you know that topic is not a short topic, it's a deeper. Maybe it takes half an hour, maybe 1 hour. But you know that maybe the temple president is just a busy person. And just first you are thinking, have to catch him, and then if already sitting, then it's okay, we can continue until I explain myself. So just say, Prabhu, just a moment, please just stop. It's not a correct, way to ask an authority in a person in position to have a conversation. Of course, the other person have to be open to give the proper time for the persons who are under his or her shelter. But still, we need to communicate really honestly. That is not just the information which we are speaking about after Tulasi Puja. It's not just one word. It have a vice versa, consequences. And I'm really confused, so I need more time to explain first, to realize that you understood. You are not speaking with someone else until that time, So we need quality time. So there's truthfulness to say it properly communicating. And so many, 21 is real deep, focusing our mind. We are chanting here. And every day, one by one, we are less and less person to chanting together. So something happening. Why not just stay for 2 hours until we finish 16 rounds? Or some rounds, but in one period. Because we can't. We are not qualified for just sitting and chanting nicely. But we need, for convincing Krishna, as this Mataji did, okay, you can come and you want to sit, I'm peacefully chanting until you want to stay with me. So chanting is a service. When Krishna appearing in his name, we need to be ready to accept his presence. We need to be ready, just able to focus on him. in the name, we need to find some relationship. That's a quality. Shravanam, Kirtanam, that's a quality. We practice it. We try to make a plan. And later we can speak about we need to come to the goodness. Dressing in the goodness, waking up, living in a goodness, eating in a goodness, working in a goodness, and that will make our mind peaceful enough to be able to practice devotional service properly, not just a little bit, mixed. Lord Kapila will explain the mixed devotional service, mixed with passion, mixed with ignorance. So we need to elevate ourselves into the goodness to be able to focus on the spiritual. It's a very rare, when we are able to do it by some special mercy, to do it otherwise, automatically. It's not like automatically means you don't have to go to another process to practice to get that qualities. Automatic means by chanting, by focusing on chanting, you will get that qualities. Means you don't need other process. That's this word automatic. You don't need to go to some penance process, some yogic process, That means. But it's not means you don't have to endeavor, plan. That doesn't mean. When you go to the university, when you take part of the classes, automatically you become an engineer. If you open your ears and not speaking about the evening disco with your partner, You have to be present. And that we, Kali Yuga persons, we have to do endeavor. We have to make effort to be present when we chant, to be present when we are singing. Do you remember when I tried to make you more living? You were physically present, but I don't know what you were thinking, but 5% was jumping up, and you, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. You've continued to chant, but it was not the smiling experience. And then you went in, and then something came up. That's effort we need for these 21 and 9 qualities. And help each other when we have a kirtan, when we have a good class, when we have a good japa time. Smile to the person. Smile, yes. We can enjoy the japa, not just fighting. You don't have to leave to have a relief. I'm smiling to you. Okay, someone is happy in the japa period, so maybe I can just stay and not go to take some prasadam or something, I don't know. Yeah. Something else? Yes, Mike.
Yeah. Thank you, Prabhu, for this nice lecture. I have one question. It's for me sometimes when, like, before we talking about our emotions and so on, but at the same time we have like these Vaishnava qualities and the Vaishnava etiquette, and sometimes it appears to me that it not goes hand in hand, because like when you have to follow particular rules and so on, and you have like special emotion, but you can I don't know, I know the English word, embrace them or like show them, express them exactly and so on.
Yeah.
Like something it looks like
controversial.
Controversial, yeah.
It's not controversial, but it's complex. So there are emotions. I'm happy. I am very happy. I am just crying. That last one we don't show. Or we show only with some persons who are really the same mood. So because we are in society, we are in different moods. And we adjust on the surface. We keep that happiness, but we don't push our feelings to others. then they are not really ready to accept it. On a kirtan, step by step, you can become more and more crazy and happy and ecstatic. In other programs, maybe it's not the best when you are eating the best prasadam. Wow, this is a gulab jamun which I never tasted. Maybe others would be a little bit first disturbed. Maybe not. Maybe we're used to it. So this Mataji got the instruction from her spiritual master not to show and not to speak about your emotions, spiritual emotions, because they are not on the level to understand it. They will misunderstand and they will make some offenses. They will maybe think in an envious way. And maybe it's truth for not for everyone. But be careful when you are in the society. Just, okay. If it's not bad, just we keep some emotions a little bit covered. We keep that emotions because that's a good to be emotional. When emotion is helping us to think of Krishna, meditate on Krishna, we keep it. But we also consider others' capacity to adjust it. That's learning period. We're learning it. Sometimes we make mistakes, no problem. But we're learning. And that's also we're learning in a company of a similar-minded persons. One of your friends speak about, do you think I can show my happiness a little bit more? And they will say yes or no. They will help to develop more open society in such a way which is not becoming so crazy. It's my thought. It helps you. We stop here today. Everyone's satisfied? Or everyone's hungry enough to go to the other program? Yeah. Thank you very much to be part of this conversation. I'm very happy to be here. So many open-hearted devotees are living here. We are very fortunate. And I'm very fortunate to be here with you. And I'm sure I will come back. I have some duties to go out, but soon I will arrange something to be with you also, to happily chanting together. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Shri Prabhupada ki, Nitai Gaura Permanandi. So go for the evening program.